What's up, guys? Got another new video for you. This is Tuned In Sports. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
And today, we've got the 2021
Royal Rumble review.
Now listen, I'll be completely honest. Not going to talk about the whole show because I didn't watch all of it. When I was able to turn it on, because I had some other things going on, and so by the time I turned it on, it was on the Sasha Banks versus Carmella match. As a matter of fact, Sasha Banks had just came out. Her entrance music was playing when I turned it on.
Well, I mean, we could, I guess, tell them whether we were surprised by the results or not in each of the matches. We don't necessarily got to dive into.
Yeah, well, for the most part, no, I wasn't surprised. And then I was kind of surprised that Charlotte and Asuka lost their championship so soon. But I'm not surprised because of the way that they did it, where they had Lacey Evans cost her the match, essentially. Get involved because they've got a feud going on, so no surprise there. However, Drew McIntyre beat Goldberg, no surprise there either. Bobby Lashley beat Riddle, no surprise there. And yeah, I think that's it. I think maybe Big E had a...
And also, Kevin...
Dude, we watched that.
Oh, yeah, we did, huh?
And then as far as Sasha Banks, Carmella, he didn't watch it, but I did. I'll say this. I was actually wildly amused by this match. I really enjoyed it. And I will say specifically, I think Carmella has really come a long way in terms of her in-ring skills. Like, when she had her championship run before and stuff, I was really not impressed by her, as a wrestler. Some of her moves and stuff didn't look very crisp. And she just kind of looked like she wasn't ready to be in that position. In this match, though, I thought she looked really good here. I was very impressed by, her moves and just how crisp she looked. She didn't look inexperienced or maybe the spotlight was too big. She looked like she was ready to, be in a championship match, and she really, I was very impressed by her. More impressed than I ever have been with her. Because all the time I used to always think well, she's really hot, but I was never really impressed by her skill set. She's kind of not that interesting of a wrestler outside of her good looks.
But to me, that kind of goes back to what I was saying last time in the preview. I was talking about how ultimately all she's really, in my opinion, been was kind of a sidekick for Enzo Amore, or now somewhat R-Truth. She was that for R-Truth as well. So I don't think that she was in it for mainly her wrestling skills. I think she was...
Well, I think she was in it for the wrestling skills, but she got pushed to the top too soon when she wasn't ready. And so as a result of that, they kind of took her out of the picture for a while by having her do small stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
But now that she's making a singles run again, like I said, that was the best I've seen her look in all my times of watching her. That was the most I've been impressed with her as a wrestler.
Yeah,
her character has always been good, I think. She's a good actor, and she plays her character well, whether she's heel or face, I feel like. I like her.
I like her face character.
I like her character, but I just don't think that her moves and her skill set at times was all that good. Because, I just haven't always been impressed with that. But what I will say is I was very impressed with her tonight. Even though she lost, I thought she looked really good. interested to see who ends up taking on Sasha Banks. I know Bianca Belair won her the Royal Rumble with the women's, which I guess that's how we transition into that. But Bianca Belair won the women's Royal Rumble. So does that mean that she's going to be taking on? Is she going to be the one taking on? Who are you talking about? Sasha Banks, or is she going to go over to the Raw side and take on the Raw champion, which is Asuka? So
if
I think
I'm her, I'm going against Asuka if I wanted to choose between the two that I think would be easier. But I just for ratings, I feel like her going against Sasha Banks would probably draw more of a crowd.
Well,
I mean, but they're not really allowing people to be in the crowd. So it's kind of
I think
viewership, I guess.
I think that either match would be really good. But I would prefer her going against Sasha Banks, I think, because
viewership.
I think Asuka would just match up better stylistically going against somebody else. Whereas
I know Bianca's like freaking huge compared to Asuka, too.
Well, yeah, but I just think stylistically it'd be a more interesting fight to see her against Sasha Banks than it would be to see her against Asuka. Not to say that I think that either one would be a horrible fight. I mean, both of them would be good matches, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the two champions right now are two really good wrestlers. And so anybody that goes against them, it's not uncommon, especially like Sasha Banks. I mean, she can make anybody look pretty good because she's just a really good wrestler. So, but anyway, yeah, let's transition into Women's Royal Rumble. This was a really fun match. Some interesting entrants in it. As far as Dakota Kai, also Shotzi Blackheart, Tori Wilson, Victoria. There was just a number of people that it was good to see them in there. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of times, sometimes these surprise entrants can, especially with the women, I mean, in the past, like, especially the first time they did the Women's Royal Rumble, it was literally just a night of surprise entrants pretty much. And some of the surprise entrants lasted longer than the people that were currently on the roster. So that just kind of made, like, the current roster people look like poop.
I think, to me, if I had to have one downgrade of this match, I would probably say what they did with Dakota Kai was kind of stupid. I thought she should have lasted longer.
Yeah,
I feel like she basically went in there for like 10 minutes and then got thrown out. So it's
I don't even think it was 10 minutes. She was in there for the time of her number, and then like next number between her number, I think she was 23. Between her number and then the number 25, she was eliminated before 25 came out, pretty much.
Yeah.
But what I will say, though, and this is something you'll hear me say periodically through the night, I really think that the WWE has done a great job. As a matter of fact, they've done better in this than they have at actually bringing the people to the main roster. They do a great job of making NXT look really good when they're involved in main roster stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times, they'll have people come in and really look good against, like, main roster people. For example, what they did with Shayna Baszler when she was still NXT Women's Champion around the time of Survivor Series last year. Remember that?
Yeah, and
she faced against
Becky Lynch and Bayley.
Yeah. They made Shayna Baszler look great.
I think she
won. Yeah, she won the match too. They made her look like $1 million, and all the people, or a lot of the people that Rhea Ripley in this match looked excellent. Shayna Baszler looked really good. Bianca Belair, who I know is on the main roster, but was in NXT up until recently, looked dynamite. I mean, they've done a great job, and especially Rhea Ripley, because it came down to Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, and that was just awesome because, they just did a great job with that. But I'm just saying, overall, they do a great job when NXT gets involved in main roster stuff. They do a great job of making NXT look legit. And there's an even better example of that, which we'll talk about in the men's also. Because there's a men's superstar, or a male superstar that was involved in the men's Royal Rumble that also looked like $1 million. But yeah, this was a mildly entertaining match. I really, really enjoyed it.
I thought overall it was good. I feel like I said before, I felt like they could have done better with the Dakota Kai thing. I was kind of hoping I would see Tegan Nox in the match too, but I think she was in the 2021. So,
yeah, she was.
So I was kind of expecting her to at least make an appearance in it, but I feel like also the Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai feud kind of has probably toned down a little bit as well.
Yeah,
so at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't think she really had any feuds with anybody.
Tegan Nox?
Does she have any feuds with any people that were in that match, or no?
Well, not really. She was feuding with Candice LeRae for a while, and obviously Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, or I think it's Raquel Gonzalez.
The only one that was in it that she had a feud with was really Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
So,
but and I think she's involved in the Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Classic going on right now. So, but anyway, really good match for the women's, and there's a couple things you can nitpick, but overall, the people that I thought should have won or be main competitors were, so I was super happy with that. And then Rhea Ripley being a surprise entrant and the performance she had was great. The only other thing that I wish could have been a little bit better was what they did with Alexa Bliss. Like, they all ganged up on her, and then right when she was about to, supercharge or whatever, she just got tossed by, I think it was Rhea Ripley, like it was nothing. And that was like the end of it, and I was like, what?
I actually thought her outfit was pretty interesting too.
Alexa's?
Yeah.
I think it's themed to the Firefly Funhouse.
I think she's really good for the role she plays.
Yes, she is.
Her character and stuff really, and her look, she kind of reminds me of Harley Quinn from.
And when she first came in, that's kind of what she was going for, honestly.
So,
because she used to have, blue hair on the end, and as a matter of fact, she's wore ring attire before that's like Harley Quinn stuff. So, but anyway, yeah, really good match there. From then we went on to, also, can I also just say, I said in the preview, if Ronda Rousey was not in it, I was taking Bianca Belair or Shayna Baszler, but I said specifically Bianca Belair multiple times, and she won. So I called that one. Moving on to the next match, though. So after that, they went into some segment with Bad Bunny and The Miz backstage and Morrison.
I thought that was kind of stupid, to be honest.
It is what it is. It's just, it played into later in the night, and it was whatever. But anyways, so after that, they had the
personally, probably
Universal. I don't know if I'm not sure if the WWE or Universal Championship is now on SmackDown, right? Yeah. So for the Universal Championship, they had Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in a last man standing match. Really, really, really good stuff here by both guys. Some really crazy spots. Really fun.
I like how
maneuvers. I love how they literally spent no time in the ring.
I like that.
Was fun.
I think honestly, I mean, any like no count out matches, that's I mean, like last man standing, for example, I feel like that's how those matches should be. I mean, I understand like the whole like you want to have some opportunity for the fans to actually be able to watch it. I mean, because if they're all just spending time outside of the ring, if they're spending the whole time outside of the ring, then the fans really aren't seeing anything. Mm-hmm. All they get to watch is the, what's it called? The huge TV.
Yeah, the Scantron or whatever.
Yeah, so I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like really what makes the matches entertaining is like all the weapons and stuff, as well as like them going through different parts of the building and using different things around the building to their advantages to try and hurt their opponent. Mm-hmm. I think that's my favorite way that those matches go. Mm-hmm. I like them going around the arena.
Yeah, using their surroundings.
Yeah, that's what really makes those kind of matches for me, at least.
Yeah, so I enjoyed this match a lot. The only part of it that was kind of hokey to me was the part when
I didn't like
Roman Reigns had his arm handcuffed, and the ref was counting, and he got to like 5. But Paul Heyman...
No, 9, I think.
No, he got to 5.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Heyman was having a hard time undoing the wrist lock of Roman Reigns. And so he legitimately just stopped counting. He just stopped counting. And the announcers were like, I think they're going to count... The ref will count it as up to his feet because he's got one leg up or something. And it was like, kind of a botched spot. I don't know if Kevin Owens handcuffed him the wrong way, and he had the lock facing the other side, and so Paul Heyman couldn't get it undone. But that was just like, okay, well, we're gonna ignore the rules for a minute because of this, because he couldn't get it undone. Whereas, technically, if it was legit, the ref would have gotten to 10 by the time he got that unhooked. Yeah, so Kevin Owens should have won.
In my opinion, that whole part was kind of underwhelming to me. I like the whole. Like using the wrists, the handcuffs. I thought that was a clever strategy by Kevin Owens to, try and.
Well, Roman Reigns was the one that brought it out.
Yeah, but it was cool to see Kevin Owens
as a callback to their steel cage match. But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it was a good idea. I liked how they used it. It just the execution with that one part was kind of hokey. And then on top of that, the fact that, it was a 9 count. And then Roman Reigns just pulled the referee into the sign. And then they're just like, oh, okay, well, bring out another referee. And nothing happened with it. I mean, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, Also, I mean, one part of it.
And then it ended in the guillotine, which is like, it's kind of, I don't know, it was kind of strange that it ended in like that guillotine way, because you're watching these guys get thrown and put through tables and thrown off the top of edges and ledges and stuff, and they're throwing each other through tables and chairs and hitting each other with all this stuff, and then it gets ended with a guillotine choke. It's like, wait, so he got up for all that other stuff, but he lost to this? Just a normal submission move? It's just kind of like, what?
To me, one more thing I wanted to point out in that whole segment with the handcuffs was, I didn't quite understand why Kevin Owens didn't take the opportunity to beat on him some more. I mean, I felt like take advantage of that opportunity. He can't do anything. Go get a weapon, you know?
Yeah, and
start beating on him.
Yeah, instead of watching. Well,
watching him trying to get the handcuffs off.
Well, that was the other thing, is instead of watching Paul Heyman take off the handcuffs and stuff, why didn't he attack Paul Heyman, and then the ref would have kept counting and he would have just lost?
Yeah,
but
part of it didn't make sense to me, but overall it was an awesome match.
I was going to say, overall, those are just nitpicks, to be honest. It was still a really, really entertaining match from top to bottom.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, so.
Yeah, I did too, for sure. So,
let's go ahead and get into the main event here, the Royal Rumble.
For the men's side.
Yep. I wasn't all that surprised by Edge winning, but I had a feeling as the match went on, I was like, kind of like how you were feeling. I thought Randy Orton was going to spoil it for him somehow. Mm-hmm. But it was awesome the way they ended it, with Randy Orton RKOing Edge and then Edge countering Randy Orton's
attempt to throw him over.
Yeah, attempt to throw him over by reversing it. I thought that was an awesome way to end the match. Mm-hmm. I didn't necessarily expect it to go that way, so it just really it was a definite eye-catching moment for me. And I really enjoyed this match overall, but I thought the one guy saving AJ Styles constantly was kind of like, really? I mean, granted, I understand it, but at the same time, it's like, guy gets tossed over. I mean, he should have lost the match, which he did end up ultimately doing, but still, I mean, I think that's kind of an unfair advantage if you ask me.
Well, it is, but at the same time, it is what it is. I mean, that's part of his character right now, is having that guy with him. So it might and it's an unfair advantage in the regular match. So he might as well have it in the Rumble too, Yeah. So, but I mean, in some respects, I feel like, a character like AJ Styles doesn't need somebody like that. I mean, he's one of the better wrestlers.
In his own right.
He's one of the better wrestlers, and sometimes I feel like when you have like bodyguard type people, around guys like that, it kind of cheapens their ability a little bit.
To me, what I feel like I think if anything, he should have been going for a guy like, maybe like a Paul Heyman or something. He doesn't need a guy that can be a bodyguard. He needs, I think he would fit better with a guy that's kind of, promoting him. I guess.
But at the same time, he's really good on the mic too, so I don't think he even needs that.
No. I think he should just, he doesn't need anything.
Yeah, that's what I say.
He's just gotta, I think he doesn't. I feel like his character is better without those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I just
yeah, whatever.
That part of it kind of
spoiled
it for me.
But other than that, there was a lot of really cool, really fun moments in this match. Awesome surprise entrance. Especially from Carlito. That was really cool seeing him. That dude looked absolutely ripped. He was in. Being completely honest, I think it would be so cool if he ends up getting a contract as a result of being in that. He'll be on. It would be awesome to see him back.
I really liked his
WWE again because he looked seriously ripped in that. That was really awesome to see him. Seth Rollins returning after being out of action for a while because, him and Becky Lynch, they had their baby. And so he was on maternity leave or not maternity leave. That's only for the woman, I think. But you know what I mean. He was on extended break during that. And then, it was awesome to see him come back. Braun Strowman, he hadn't been on programming for a while either, I think.
Dude, he looked freaking ripped. Yeah. That guy looked phenomenal.
Yeah, and then it was just a really well done thing throughout the night. And then going back to what I said earlier about the NXT people, the addition to Damian Priest in this match was awesome. He looked great. He took out some big names. He even wiped out Kane, which is like a huge... you just think about the prospect. I know that Kane's not in it anymore, so somebody had to, take him out. But you think about the prospect of this guy on NXT taking out Kane. That is crazy. We're talking about Kane here. That was so cool. I was a huge fan of it. Huge fan.
I think Damian Priest is just a cool character.
Yeah. But, that is such a... And his performance overall is just such a... he was going face-to-face with a number of the top stars.
Like Edge
and holding his own.
These other guys.
Yeah, he was holding his own against these guys. Such a good job of like I said before, with using the NXT people and making them look legit. Great job.
I thought it was kind of unfortunate what happened with Otis. He went in there, started his move, and then basically he got tossed over the rope.
Well, it was unfortunate, but nothing that wasn't expected. He already kind of had his moment of shine with the Money in the Bank stuff. It is what it is.
No, I expected him to lose, but I also didn't expect him to be thrown out like less than 5 minutes since he got in.
I did. I figured he'd come in, do his little shtick, do the caterpillar thing, and then get tossed shortly thereafter. And that's what happened. Literally. Literally, he basically went in the ring, knocked over a couple of people, threw a couple guys around, did the caterpillar thing, got up, got thrown. All right, thanks for coming. That's essentially what happened with him. But overall, great match, and then the way that it came down at the end with Seth Rollins, and then, also Christian, so cool to see him back again. Captain Charisma, which is funny because at the beginning of the match when they were in the top 5 or 6 and everybody that came out was teaming up on Edge, I said out loud that it would be so cool if they either had John Cena, just because of their historic rivalry, come out and save him as the number 6 entrant, or if Christian came. And that didn't happen then, but it happened later on in the night. And that was super, super cool. I was like, yeah, this is awesome seeing Christian again. And then, with the final 4 or whatever being Braun Strowman and Christian and Edge and Seth Rollins. And then, Edge eliminates Seth Rollins.
And Braun Strowman got eliminated.
With Christian, because they were trying to eliminate him. And then on top of that, then Randy Orton shows up, which, that I knew that was going to happen, that he was going to come in. But I actually, like he said, I was thinking that Randy Orton might come and spoil the match, but then not win the Rumble himself, because I was thinking that it would lead to another match at WrestleMania between those two, but didn't happen that way. So congrats to Edge on winning. You know, the story writes itself. That's why I picked him to win this match, which again, I got right. I said it was either going to be Edge, or if John Cena came, I was taking John Cena. But I said Edge, and it seemed like an obvious pick because, like I said, the story writes itself. He never lost the championship, and they're going to pull the trigger on it while he's still around, because he's not the most healthy guy. Each time he's been dealing with injuries, and he came back, and then he got hurt, and then he came back again, and then he got hurt again.
Yeah, I mean, especially where Christian is concerned, though, I feel like he could still be doing this. I feel like he should sign a contract and return and start fighting again. I mean, he looked great out there. I mean, he looked like he'd never lost a step.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel like he could still be out there doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that maybe the WWE will, get him back involved.
I don't think it's a situation where the WWE has no interest in Christian being involved in the storylines. I think it's that Christian just retired and doesn't want to do it anymore on a weekly basis. But he's like, hey, if you guys want me to show up for a special appearance now and then, I'd love to. But I just think he doesn't want to I don't think he wants to do that anymore. But with Edge coming back, I mean, he might. I don't know.
I think he should, but
I would love him to, but I don't think that all I'm saying is I don't think it's that the WWE has no interest in bringing him back.
No, I'm not saying that was the case, but I was just saying if they could somehow get him on a contract, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. But anyway, great match though, and super awesome ending to it. Great ending to the show overall. Really enjoyed watching it throughout, and just check, the whole time just seeing who was coming out and all that stuff kind of has you on the edge of your seat. Wasn't sure who was going to be coming out. I was thinking when 30 came around, I was thinking maybe Brock Lesnar, maybe John Cena, and, a couple of other people that I was thinking, wow, it'd be really cool if they came out here. But, it ended up being Braun Strowman, which was fine. I don't have anything against Braun Strowman. But, it was also kind of surprising not to see, what's his name involved at all? Keith Lee. Because, just a couple weeks ago or whatever, he was involved with fighting for the championship. And he had a match against, what's his name? I think Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
So it was like he's in the title picture like a couple weeks ago, and then all of a sudden Goldberg came in and took that, and then Keith Lee wasn't even in the Rumble match. So I don't know if there was something else going on with him, but I was half expecting him to be the number 30 entrant, because I was like, oh, here's where Keith Lee will come out, because we haven't seen him yet. And he's an obvious contender, but he wasn't there. So, like I said, I don't know what was going on with him, but nonetheless,
I think Keith Lee's awesome.
Nonetheless, though, I'm happy with who was in there, and it was just a really fun match, fun event. And I mean, anytime the Rumble is going on, it's an awesome time.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think the Rumble is probably my favorite pay-per-views for WWE. I think those are probably my favorites, just for like the surprise factor of you don't know who's gonna be in it and stuff like that, and it just brings back memories when you got people that back in the day were big names in the company, returning to fight it out. I mean, it's awesome. So
yeah, you see flashbacks from the past. I mean, at one point, I think it was Christian and AJ Styles were, duking it out back and forth, and I was like, man, this is awesome. And I mean, it was just, and then you saw Edge throughout the night fighting with different people.
Edge was freaking. I actually, speaking of that, I really liked the beginning segment that they had too, with Edge and Orton. I thought that was a good way to start the event. I mean, for the Royal Rumble at least. I thought him and Orton being the first two contestants really fit well. Mm-hmm. Because Orton's the one that injured Edge to put him out again.
Yeah, it was really well done to have it like that, because then you can kind of put an end to that storyline without having them directly fight again, and you can not make it seem like that storyline didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
So it was a good way to tie in that storyline and have them fight it out and stuff, and then at the end have Edge come out on top. I really did like that as well. So yeah, overall, just great night, great action, great event, and from everything that I watched, I was thoroughly impressed.
What was your favorite match tonight, though?
Probably the men's Rumble, but yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, when you're watching the Royal Rumble, I mean, I can watch.
It's hard not to.
I can watch.
That be your
I can watch
match.
A one-on-one regular championship match on SmackDown. You know what I mean? I mean, Sasha Banks and Carmella, that was a really good match, but I could watch that on SmackDown. They don't have the Royal Rumble on SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean.
It's hard not to
when that's the
Royal
focus
Rumble
of the pay-per-view. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and I like the men's probably better than the women's just because I loved some of the names and stuff. And it also felt like with the men's and the women's, as far as the women are concerned, I don't feel like when I'm watching the women's pay-per-view that there's as many people that I would consider to have a legit chance to win.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like with the men, I feel like there's a lot more people that I could actually legitimately see win the match. Whereas with the women, a lot of times it seems like there's a select few that I give a chance, and the rest of them, I just expect them to be eliminated by those select few people that I give the chance to.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody else is just kind of there to fill space. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. But with the men's, there's a host of people that I could say, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this person won. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. We'll be sure to bring out more wrestling content for you in the future. We really had a fun time watching this. And we're going to be bringing you guys some more pay-per-view reviews. We were initially just going to do NXT, but I think it'd be a lot of takeovers. But I think it'd be really fun to just do, a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely, we're kind of in the spirit of the Royal Rumble right now. So the next video we come out with will probably be another Royal Rumble. Not to say we won't do any more takeovers. We're still planning on doing those because we know those are excellent shows for fighting and stuff. And we'll be bringing out some more of those. But, we got a whole bunch of different things planned and a lot of different shows and stuff to do. And at the very least, we'll try and review these WWE pay-per-views when they happen. Because even if we don't, even if we don't commit to doing weekly show every week, we can at least do the pay-per-views when they happen once a month.
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
That would be fun. So, anyways, if you guys like the content, hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned for more content coming in the future. Turn on the notifications so you get an update every time we post something. And make sure you check out some of our other wrestling content as well as other sports.
Yep.
So, that being said, Bryson,
Bennett.
we'll see you guys in the next video.